Dr. Owusu Ocho is Dr. O for the 804 as the premier knee and hip shoulder sports surgeon in Virginia. I would like to remind you that health equals power. Sports build and uplift communities, nothing else can. The mission of sports medicine is to keep athletes of all ages and levels at the top of their game. Dr. O is located at Ortho, Virginia, Schrader Road office location. Appointments can be scheduled online at orthovirginia.com or by calling 804-939-6688. You can follow Dr. O on Instagram at Dr. O _ for the 804 and uplifting educational content about sports health.
Hi everyone, I'm Coach Rick Stockel. I am co-owner of Newman & Dunn Real Estate here in Central Virginia, as well as I am a high school boys basketball coach at Monacan High School. I've sold over 1,300 homes here in Central Virginia, and I would love to work with you and your family in your home buying needs. I am a proud primary sponsor of Ballin' in Virginia, and I hope you enjoy this show.
Yeah, man, I appreciate Rick Stockel for sponsoring the show today. He's a great guy, great coach, great realtor here in Virginia. Make sure you give him a call or check out his website over at rickstockel.com if you're looking for any homes in Virginia. Thanks again, and let's get into this episode. Welcome to another episode of BallinVA. We got another special episode today. Listen, everybody, when you get a text message from the preseason All-American from UNC, you got to take that call, man. You got to take it. So today, we got none other than the big man himself, UNC, 5-star, national champion, high school, state champion, high school, Peach Jam champion, Nike champion, however you want to go. He's a champion everywhere he went. And he just coming off that Final Four, and then the other night he had 28-13 against Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, I have in studio with me today Armando Bacot Jr. I got my sister from another mother, Christy Lomax, his mother, and I got my main man, his right hand, Elijah Saunders. He's the assistant basketball coach at Varina, and he also is a basketball trainer, so we're going to get him to plug himself a little bit.
Yes,
how y'all doing, everybody?
God bless.
Glad to be here, man. Everybody going good.
Man, listen, look, we was like, I told Tim, I said, Mondo called me yesterday. I said, my FaceTime him after he texted me. I said, can you get in here? Oh, yeah, we can do that. We definitely can do that.
I told you next time I was in the city, I was going to hit you.
Man, you did say that, but I won't think it, man. It's Christmas holiday and everybody, buying toys and turkeys and tots and all that other stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, dog, man. So, man, listen, hell of a game the other night, man. Talk about that game, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, we was playing Michigan, and it was a huge matchup. Obviously playing against Hunter Dickinson. Big-time player, and you've seen it too. We played with each other in AAU, been playing against each other forever. So, I mean, I knew I had to bring my A game, and it was at the Hornet Stadium. So, I mean, it was those big-time games, and really I just knew in order for us to win, I had to be special.
Man, you did, man. I hate to say it, but you played with this confidence like you really knew him. Like you was just tearing him to pieces, man. I saw the highlights. I didn't watch the game, but when I went through the highlights on YouTube, it was beautiful. So I am 38 fan UNC,
yes,
so
sir.
I'm happy for the win. So other than that, man, so let's talk about this Final Four thing, man. I'm going to go a little bit about that. Talk about y'all run last season, man. How did you feel about that, man? What turned it on?
Yeah, I mean, it was magical. It really was something you see out of a movie, just like how we started off the season with a lot of expectations and then struggled, and then we go on that huge run, first beating Duke at Duke, which was crazy, and then the whole tournament run, like I said, I mean, really it just flipped once. I mean, we was confident the whole year, and we knew how good we were, but we just had to really just start clicking as a team and really playing together, and that's what really just made the huge jump for us. And, I mean, so many great things came out of March because, I mean, I was definitely, like, known, like nationally before that. But then, I mean, I just saw everything double for me. I mean, I remember right after I went to Punta Cana and, like, had people all there just, like, trying to take pictures with me and stuff like that. And I think that really just, like, springboarded me. But, I mean, the whole team, and we all kind of became celebrities, like, overnight from that whole run.
Man, that run was outstanding. Christy, tell me your experience from look, sis, every time I saw you, they had the camera on you. Oh man, let's get it from a parent perspective. Like, how did it make you feel?
Well, it was awesome. It was amazing. The hard work pays off. You see the hours that your child puts in, that no one sees, the sacrifice, the commitment. So to see that all, come into fruition and them come together as a team and go so far in the Final Four and to be runner-up for a national championship, it was surreal. We had a blast. We had a good time. All the parents, we came together and, had our A game together and how we wanted to chant and cheer them on and keep their energy along with the fans. So it was amazing. Looking forward to it again.
Look, hey, Houston, right? I got a homeboy live in Houston, so y'all got to get to Houston. Because my man said, look, you straight, you ain't got to worry about no hotel, no nothing. So I already booked that.
Oh, man, we got to get back to Houston.
Yeah, I ain't trying to put no pressure on you, man, but it is anything that's less than a championship, it's just we just can't, man. So, Eli.
Yes, sir.
Man, just give a little bit, man. How did you feel, man? I know you was at a couple of them games, man, stuff like that. So
yeah, man, it was a great feeling. Just seeing Mondo come from where he's come from and now see him play on the platform that he's on. It's a good feeling, as a friend. Just to see him succeed as he is, and the sky's the limit. It's not done yet, but it's good to see it.
I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous. It's okay. Look, I'm jealous of you, man. Look. I said, man, I could get there, but man, hey, when you got to work and stuff like that, as long as somebody represented from the 804, it was good seeing the 804 representative.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'm going into my 757 people, but this time 7032, because y'all know y'all be talking trash, and I told y'all, at Mondo, we trust, okay? Look at me. I'm looking into this camera. At Mondo, we trust. Told you, every way he been winning.
Yes, sir.
He wins.
Yeah.
So at some point,
Yeah.
hey, if you bet, man, you better listen. But man, look, I want to ask you a couple questions because everybody wants to know, especially you're a popular man. Every time I turn around, you got an NIL deal, man. Look, I need to come to you for a loan or something, man. Hey, but look. Before we get into that, first, the season, I know y'all started off preseason number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this is like a question that everybody want to know, so I had to take a question from my man. I'm going to shout him out, Julian Brown from Nova Legends. Go ahead and shout him out for that. UNC fans, they up and down. When y'all win, they want Cuba Davis' head. When they down, then next thing you know, when they win, I'm sorry, I take that back. When they win, it's make him a president. When he down, they want him gone. So do y'all as a team feel that pressure that he feels like when that happens?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. UNC is one of the biggest sports brands it is in the world. So with that comes a lot of fans and a lot of passion, and there's so much history, and it's a program that's been winning forever. So it just would come with it. But I mean, definitely. I mean, we go out in public. I remember a couple weeks ago, it was after we had lost at Virginia Tech. I was at Dunkin' Donuts, and I walked in there, and the dude was like, "What are y'all doing, man?" And that's just like little stuff you get just being in Chapel Hill, but anywhere in the state of North Carolina, because they just love basketball so much, and you playing for something bigger than yourself, and it's definitely a lot of pressure that come with it, but you know what you're signing up for, too.
That's right. That's right. And excuse my rudeness, man. My mama taught me better manners than you know that, sis. Mm-hmm. Congratulations, man, on breaking that record. First of all, that's what I should have said.
I got more to break.
Man, look, man, you did something, man, that is like a very hard thing to do, Mondo. And from BallinVA and just period, man, just family, man. We go back to the Trinity days, even back to Coach Team Swag, Coach Atkins days, man. But congratulations.
Oh, I remember
man.
Team Swag.
Oh, yeah, we was the best.
Y'all was.
We were running stuff, man.
Omar was an animal.
Look, Omar, shout out to Omar, man.
Omar was an animal.
Look, Omar, look, your daddy was here a couple weeks ago, man. He was like, man, Omar was so big. Omar, and it was like, Mondo used to be scared of Omar. And the next thing you know,
huge.
Yeah, Omar was the biggest kid. And I said, yeah, we going to win every game. And then we were trying to get you to come play with us, man. It never worked out. But y'all beat us when it mattered.
Mm-hmm.
And that game at Boo.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, but Malik was in foul trouble. I'm going to give you that one. That's why we lost. That game, Malik was in foul trouble. So, but no, man. No, but we go back to them days, man. But huge congratulations, man. That is a big. How did that make you feel, bro? To accomplish a record like that. That's. I don't know. They're gonna be broken in
56
time.
years. Yeah, it took 56 years to be broken.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to think because, I mean, you seen it, like, just where I came from. Like, you couldn't have told me, like.
Yeah.
I ain't see it.
Yeah, exactly. and that's another thing, too. And that was something that I respected about you because, I mean, you remember, where was we at?
Shoot.
somewhere.
I said a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, but I remember where I had to have been in, like, the 5th or 6th grade.
Okay.
If that. And it was like after the game, I was like goofing off or something. We had just lost, and you had said something. You was like,
I can only imagine.
and you know, he's so blunt too.
I
You
know.
was like,
Look, you got to go back in the archives. Of that
I
one.
can't even remember. It's like, why you joking? Like you trash or something like that. And-
Oh yeah, I was up with you. Then I jumped on you about when you was covering the Trinity. Telling me you was gonna do this when Tony.
Oh, yup,
and I let you have it in Caroline. I was like, man, you must be crazy. Who do you think you are, man? Like
I do remember that.
Tim Duncan or somebody. You ain't coming in here like that.
I do remember that.
Yeah, trust me that. But it was done out of love.
Yeah, it
won't
was.
like you know, I hate them, but it's like, and then when we got you, it's like, man, why we not playing him?
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least for rim protection.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, just like, but then like I said, you played in later the season and you became made the all tournament team.
Yep.
So it worked out, man.
Yeah, but I mean, you was authentic with me from the jump, and that's just something that I like respected, you know, because you don't get a lot of that. You know, a lot of people they'll say things behind closed door, but won't say it to somebody's face. But you'll say whatever come to your mind.
That's true. Y'all like when I go left, don't y'all?
I love it.
Oh, he
You
loves
know, I
it.
love it.
He gets off.
I love getting you
I
going.
be trying not to do that, man. I tried not to, but y'all, they take me there, man.
Always.
They take me there. They, and not to go into it. I was at the Henrico game the other night, right? Hey, Mr. Bonds come up to me, and we was talking to Marlon Lancaster from Henrico. He said, "Man, you missed it. Man, Larry went in on B Ward." I'm like, "Oh my God, like why you go? Oh, I don't need that, man. Why y'all keep talking about that,
that
man?"
was funny though.
I'm like, so we ain't gonna even go into what it was about, man. But Lord, I'm like, why do y'all do that, man? Why y'all like put me on the spot? Y'all want to see me
Every
go left?
time. But you passionate about it though. so-
Definitely.
I am, man. It's just I see stuff, man, and I guess I'm spoiled because I've coached with one of the greatest coaches. Shout out to Coach Atkins, man. A legend in her own right. And when you be under her staff, it's certain things that you just have to do, and just like, man, I have a certain expectation.
Yeah.
And if you don't meet that, and I even go for myself, if you don't do that, sorry, you got to be out, man.
Yeah.
So I saw you, man, and I just felt like that, you could be something, but I wanted you to. I didn't see that push or that work ethic that you probably was doing, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't have that approach, really. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you were spot on. I had all the potential, but I don't know, I guess it just wasn't a sense of urgency. I just didn't take it all the way serious. I was just having fun, really.
Which I thought, looking back on it in hindsight now compared to kids growing up, I think that's the difference. The fun is sometimes taken out of it because I don't think you were pushed to the point where you felt like you had to train 5 times a day or
Yeah, I mean, I was just doing it because I loved it. But I won't, like...
you fell in love with it, and you
It
definitely
just happened
had a good
authentically.
time with it.
He did,
Early on anyway.
Because I remember Mr. Branson just said, "Man, he gonna be something." I said, "Why y'all keep hyping this boy up? He ain't done nothing yet."
Yeah.
I used to be like, "No," I say, I gotta see it. I gotta push him. I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
But you always took it. You used to look at me, you was like,
Definitely.
okay, and I'd be like, "He ain't gonna do it." And then next thing you know, Mondo come out there and
And do
dominate.
it. Yeah.
And you work so hard, man. And I'm gonna say, from your 8th grade year to your 10th grade year, though you transformed it. But everything that you say, it was like you always made me believe. I got tired of going against you. I told somebody the other day, I said, every time I go against Mondo, he always proved me wrong.
Yeah.
I always tell Mondo, you ain't gonna do this. And then next thing you know, he do it. He ain't gonna do this. Then like I told you a few minutes ago, you beat Malik at that thing. I was mad with you
Yeah.
too.
Was that States?
That was States.
Yeah.
That was the AAU. That was States.
Was that what, Tidewater?
It was Tidewater. And I was like, and Malik got in foul trouble. And I remember that referee said, if number one didn't get in foul trouble, y'all probably could have pulled it out. And I was like, man, I don't even care, man. I said, Mondo, we lost to Mondo, man. I was just like, I was hurt.
Yes.
I was hurt, man. Well, that was kind of like the beginning of the end for us, man, because we went in our different ways after that. But no, man. But no, let's go into a little bit. Let's talk about some good stuff, man. That Trinity. Oh, I know what I got for you. I had Mario and Pinky here a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
You know, Mario went on record saying that wasn't no foul at the end of that game, right?
Oh my God.
Oh, he went on record and
It was a
said
foul.
he said Mondo didn't foul me. I said we know that, but them referees.
They called it a foul.
They called it a foul.
It was a foul,
and he
but
got
it was
the only
not a
one.
foul,
But it won't a foul.
Yes.
Can you tell everybody, and I know we probably biased up here, can you tell them that Trinity was probably one of the greatest teams in the last 10, 15 years, man, what we did, the accomplishments that we made?
I would probably even go farther than that. I mean, I think that Trinity team got to be somewhere in the top 10 to 15, like just Richmond teams in general. Because, I mean, you got to take everything into account, like in terms of just like our stardom in Richmond. Like, we really, like, brought things to Richmond that people had never seen before, like
Definitely.
having Coach K, Coach Williams, Kyler Park, people like that in a gym. Like, you didn't really see that. Like, and I mean, we had so many high-level players.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was really like when, like, I think just Richmond in general.
Sold out games.
Sold out games everywhere. I mean, you look at that LC Bird game.
Man,
that's still to this day one of the hypest games I've ever played in.
That game was
Definitely.
sick, man.
Varina, I mean, remember we played Varina in the benefit game.
The benefit
Yeah.
game.
And you
oh
would have
my
thought it was the
God.
championship game.
Yeah.
I was like, man, it was crazy. I was like, for a benefit game, I was like, all these people was here, but
Yeah.
all the work that you put in, and Krista, you know, that ride, I'm gonna let you tell that one too. Can you let people know that what that ride was that year? Because I get tired of arguing with these people. They're gonna be like, you be talking about Trent all the time. Daggone right.
No, it was dope. It was everything all the hype. I mean, did we lose one game that
5-on-8 game
35
at like the
and
Bird.
Yeah, I mean, to me that's the number
Finished off
for
number
itself.
9 in the country.
Exactly.
I mean, it was me, Malik, Zach,
Tink,
Wade,
Yeah.
Aaron Duhart,
we
Will
was
Michael.
ranked above people that you see in stars in the NBA right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And every game y'all played from clock on to clock off. Like it was y'all, I mean, as soon as it was jump ball, it was on.
Well, it was crazy.
The chemistry was amazing.
We were like rock stars for real, though.
Y'all were.
Yeah, we were. Do you remember that game we played Cam Thomas at Bishop Sullivan?
That's when I knew he was going to be special.
And we would lose, and we was beating them. And after the game, the lady came up there and said, "They rock stars. Let me get all y'all autographs." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
But I was like, man, but it was crazy. Like I said, we beat them. Like we beat him to death. Like he scored 40.
He did drop.
I mean,
40
we would be
on us.
bored out there. Like we would like make the game interesting. We would. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember what was it? Was it LCA we was playing?
Yeah, that was the
We
first
blew
game.
like the 40-point lead. Like we was just out there just having fun. We would. I remember me and Wade would have that thing where we'd just get it off the backboard and just throw it full court. Remember the outlet passes and stuff?
Oh man,
Yeah.
they couldn't do that. And I thought when we
y'all were
played-
like grown men. Honestly, it was like a college team.
yeah, I mean we was
Really?
going around beating everybody in their own backyard. We didn't really play that many home games that year. I don't recall because we was all our big games was on the road.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, so like I said, you know, I tell people that Bird game, man, was probably one of the biggest games of the atmosphere
was
that I've ever been
legendary.
into.
Nah, for real.
Because
Legendary.
I was hurt because I was like, man,
We were packed in there too.
Good luck trying to get into that game.
a lot of people
They
get
said it was like 100 people that couldn't get in. Like
No,
that
it was
out.
more than 100. It was
Yeah.
hundreds.
yeah, because
Well, I know. I mean, as far as they could not get
couldn't
in,
get in,
it
but
was
people
left
still outside. Yeah, because people was going live and watching the game because Mario said Cam mama couldn't get in the game. They had to go outside and get her. Say, well, this lady got to come in, her son playing.
Yeah.
So they had to go
crazy.
get her from outside because they wouldn't let her in.
Yeah,
No, it's crazy.
it
And
was
I mean,
something to watch.
those people
Something.
And that was everywhere. I mean, you look at too, even that next year when we had played in the Richmond Times Dispatch at the what was it at the Coliseum?
At the Coliseum, I
Oh
played
man,
Varina.
yeah.
Yeah, remember
I
how
thought
packed
Varina
that was. We
I
darn near
thought
sold
Varina
out
was
the
going to beat y'all.
Coliseum. Yeah, Varina, man, they always played us close.
Man,
Definitely.
Look, I told, and it's crazy. Shout out to Coach Boom and AT and them guys. You know I love them guys. Because AT, I told him, he said, no, I remember they came over there and they watched y'all. They came over there and AT was in there writing the notes. I said, I said, what y'all doing? He said, well, we taking, we scouting. I said, y'all not gonna beat that team. I said, who y'all got? Y'all lost Dre and all them. He said, man, I'm telling you, we gonna get. I said, man, Mondo and them gonna crush y'all. We got Henry, we got Wade.
Yeah.
Like, man, that game. And I told him, and I go on record as saying this, and I'm even with y'all sitting here. I told him if that didn't stop that game, I felt like y'all was gonna lose that night because they had got all the momentum. I don't know how you feel about it, but
Nah, I mean, it was, man, our backs was against the wall for sure. It was one of those things where, like, we was fighting for our lives. But the great thing about us as a team, like, and I think this would make a lot of people hate us too, like, we just always found a way.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, we did. It's like, I know Varina thought they was gonna beat us that night when it was like 17, 19, and then Matt Nelson made all them threes, him and Zach, and I was like, this thing is over.
We always found a way.
It is crazy because I
Always.
posted it the other day, and Coach Lacey posted. I made a post about the newspaper, and Coach Lacey said, "I remember that night." I said, "Yeah, I bet you do." But that night, y'all won't beat us, man. I don't care who y'all had out there that night. But the next year, they went out there and they won. So it was a standard. But I want to ask you this question because AT always used to pick with me on this. How different it would have been if you would have went to Varina.
That's interesting. And it's funny. I haven't even really thought about it myself.
Yeah, because he always
That
bring
is
it
an
up.
interesting question.
He
yeah,
bring
that
it up,
would've-
'cause
that
that's your
would've-
home school.
That's your home school.
4-minute drive.
Yeah.
All right, at that time, it was, man, that would have been crazy because, I mean, we had already had that chemistry from middle school, just
Yeah, exactly.
playing with Tyrese, J. Nell. I didn't get a chance to play with Andre and them because we had lived in Georgia.
Yeah.
My 7th grade, I was at Rolfe my 6th and 8th grade, and we moved to Georgia my 7th grade year. But, I mean, it would have been crazy because, I mean, I feel like just adding me, and then if I would have been there all 4 years, like, you could only imagine it. I mean, that's why I always root for Varina because that's right where I'm at. I'm always want Varina to win. So
Man.
I couldn't even imagine how wild that would
That
have
would
been.
have been
I don't know,
awesome.
bro. Eli, how many
would've been
championships you
different.
think they would have won, man?
Shoot, almost every year, probably.
Probably would have been 4 in a row.
Yeah, that team, they was loaded with what they had.
Definitely.
So I always want to know what it could have been. Sorry, Varina, we took y'all. Don't get me wrong, y'all got 2 now, but y'all could have had a whole lot more.
For sure.
You know. But no, man, I always bring up that Trinity team, before we go on, because that team was, to me, one of the greatest teams, 35-1, and I don't think they get enough credit.
And we won nationally, too.
Yeah,
we
we
beat
won.
national
Exactly.
teams.
Exactly.
We killed PVI, like,
Yeah.
Did you tell me?
I remember when we won that state championship, I got a call, and what team was that we won to?
we beat
Bishop O'Connell.
and
PVI.
PVI. Which one was?
Was it Brandon Slater?
Yeah.
I know where you're going
Yeah.
with this.
And said that by the time he woke up, like got hot, got ready to play, we had already won the game.
Yeah, they thought they was
Literally.
going to beat us.
Yeah.
They really did. They came in there
Yeah.
like they thought they was going to beat us. And I was like, man, and I'm going to tell y'all, and shout out to Zach Jacobs. I don't know what he was on that day. I don't know. Zach's still shooting it today. It's 5-6 years later.
Yeah, he was pure.
I shoot that thing for
And when he didn't miss, Mondo cleaned up. So I was just like, I said, oh my God. I was like, give him the ball. Just give it to him. So.
But everybody was strong, and that was, I think, what was so special about that team is that everyone knew their strength and they played to that together. It was like no one tried to do anything other than what they specialized in.
Yep. They
And
did.
it worked.
It worked perfectly.
Yeah.
And
I love teams like that. Those are championship teams when
Yep.
you're confident in what you bring to the table and you do that to the best of your ability along with your teammates. You really, I mean, those are your championship teams and your champions.
Yes. Tink, special shout out to Tink.
Definitely.
Because when Aaron went down, I don't think we lose the game if Aaron had played all year. But, that Bird game especially. he got the keys and he drove the car. And I don't think Tink get enough credit. I know I don't give him enough credit for that. And Will Michael coming in there doing what he did because he could have pouted. Same thing with Matt Nelson and those guys. So shout out to that whole team, man. You know,
Yeah, that whole team.
and we're gonna do a special on that once we get, Mondo. We gotta find a way to get him in here with all of them at the same time.
You gonna bring the coaches on too?
You funny, right? You got jokes. I don't think they're happy with me right now. Shout out to Coach Reese. But out the other three, I don't think the other they happy with me. Now, I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna be nice, but I'm gonna say this. Do you know they tried to kick me out the gym?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
No.
they tried to kick me out of the gym. And I give y'all this short story. And I ain't say nothing bad. I'm gonna be nice. One day, Bert inboxed me and said, "Come up to the practice and see our team." And I walked in. It was Burke and Henry on the floor. They were playing. So I said, "I'll come up there and check it." He said, "I want to see what you think about this." So I was like, "All right, cool." This is after you was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk into the gym, and the coach said, "What are you doing here? You don't like us." What?
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "Where did this come from?" But you shouldn't be here. I said, "Well, I was invited by Bert. Bert asked me to come
Oh,
here."
Bert.
Yeah. So Bert told me to come in.
Yeah.
So he was like, "No." He said, "Well, I don't think you." I said, and we went back and forth and all that stuff. I don't think that was coaching staff for.
So you banned from Trinity?
No, I'm not banned from Trinity. I ain't going there. Look, those three might not have a problem with me. They may have a problem with me, but the school as a whole.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I love the school. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? That's my heart. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Especially what we did
sure.
together. Shout out to Karen Michael, Coach Mickens. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Reese.
Yeah, Coach Mickens, he been getting it done too.
Y'all-
Oh, yeah.
They was here a couple weeks ago. I had them in here too.
Nice.
And all the coaches over there, Coach Sneed, the GOAT, she winning those
She still
championships.
coaching?
Yeah, she the GOAT. So I'm trying to get her in here too.
They still want to say championships?
I think they won, last year or something like that. They always win, man.
Yeah.
The GOAT. That's why she the GOAT.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So it's my love. But no, I didn't get banned or nothing like that. But he
Good.
tried, man. I think it was more because he was in his feelings. He thought, why would you say such a thing? I'm like, we've been saying stuff for 10 years, bro. Where you been? But yeah, man. But look, I want to get to some questions that everybody wants to know, man, about the season, because I can go into the season and stuff like that. But these NIL deals, man, I know every time I turn around, you getting them. You like I don't know, you like the poster child for NIL deals, man. So shout out to that. First question: do you think the NIL deals enable athletes to stay in school longer?
Definitely, because it definitely put a good enough amount of change in your pocket to where you don't feel like you rushed. So I think definitely for sure.
Okay. Because people want to know that, because I was like, man, that's a good question. And I know a lot of these guys probably would be, leaving a lot early, but I think it benefits the college basketball more because when we grew up, it was 4-year players, 3 and 4 year players. And the game was so much better. And I think, and it proved that because last year, you was a junior, so y'all were upperclassmen and y'all went further. But a lot of kids, when they leave early and stuff like that, you kind of miss that. So a lot of parity in the game.
Can I add something to that?
Sure.
That I think from a parent perspective,
Please.
I also think it gives, the student athlete an opportunity to build relationships.
Okay.
Outside of basketball as well, because, eventually the ball will stop bouncing.
Yes.
So to be able to start to establish business relationships and meet people outside of the basketball world is also something good, depending on what field you go into after you finish playing basketball professionally.
Yeah. What you think, Eli?
No, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I feel like a lot of the players, they couldn't, be able to make money at one point. Now that the fact that they can off NIL and opportunities, like she said, it's a great networking opportunity. But I feel like also too, some players may get comfortable, right, with the NIL money, and then not even really have the hunger anymore to get to the league. So it can hurt them like that as well. You know what I mean? So I feel like too, it's a good opportunity, but as long as they don't get comfortable.
See, that's why you're the mom of the year. See, that's why you like. Look, you need to be an agent. you
No,
don't.
I'm just
you need to be an
joking.
agent, because that was a good. You're right, because there's so many network opportunities. Kids don't stay in
Definitely.
school long enough. You look at Ben Simmons. He was there in the blink of an eye. He was out once the season was over. He wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So he was gone. The second one, which is the last one. Do you think the NIL deals enable more players to be patient?
Yeah.
Tell us why. Why you think that? I'm gonna ask all three of y'all that.
I mean, I would just say just because, like I said, the money aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because the majority or a huge percentage of college basketball players not like super rich kids, and just being able to have a little cushion and move around how you want to move around is great. And I mean, I think it adds excitement to the college game, and you're going to see a lot more guys that's not necessarily ready at that time taking more time to develop their game versus just going and possibly not getting drafted and going to the G League, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. What you think, Chris?
Yeah, I agree totally with his answer on that. It gives you more options, and like you said, keeping the focus on school and basketball, and still being able to be comfortable in that aspect. It helps you not to rush, your family as well, to know that their child is able to, because college is expensive.
Oh yeah,
And,
I know.
Young adults are expensive.
Yes.
So it helps, take the pressure off so that you can kind of view the whole scope to make a good conscious decision versus kind of a panic or a need decision. So yeah, I agree. It does enable some patience.
Eli, what you think, bro?
I agree 100%. Because a lot of kids, they jump into the league not ready, and then the main focus is really getting to the league and staying in the league. Not really getting to the league and just hopping right back out to the G League or overseas. So now this is getting the opportunity for kids to really realize, like, okay, I might not be ready. I still can put some money in my pocket. You know. And then the high schoolers, like the young kids now, it gives them a different type of hunger of even making it to college because, oh shoot, I'm about to get a bag now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
I think overall it really changed the game of sports, and I think it's what we've been needed.
Man, that's a beautiful answer, man.
It is.
That was dope, man, because that makes so much sense, man.
Yeah.
Because now you're trickling it all the way down to the high school, and now it's affecting high school recruiting.
Yeah, and it's
Right.
affecting a lot of the players that, like this transfer portal, man, is really what.
Now
is hurting
that I
kids.
think I may not be understanding, but I think they need to put some type of sense on that because
It's hurting the recruiting. It's hurting the recruiting
Definitely.
for like a lot of seniors, because for players just to be able to transfer and just play anytime, now we might not need this senior anymore. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's tough.
Doe, let me ask you this question. When high school recruiting, I done lost my train of thought. I'm gonna have to come back to that. But because I was gonna try to get your opinion on it, man, because in today's time, I just think it's so much different from when you came out of school. And it's how it's affecting so many people, these kids. What would you say to these young athletes that's coming out of college, right? I mean, coming out of high school right now, that's trying to get recruited. What do you tell them? Because they're competing against the transfers and all that stuff. So what do you tell them from your standpoint, from somebody from your stature?
It sounds cliche and you hear from all your coaches, but it's really the truth. Like, you got to find a way to differentiate yourself from everybody and separate. And, that's just, like, in terms of, like, defensively, like, just being a headache, that's something that can get you on the college floor because it's a need for every team for somebody to be a defender, somebody that's out there playing hard, diving on the floor. Those are not the cool things, but that's what college coaches really looking for because can't everybody go out there in college and take 15, 20 shots a game and beat those two guys. So you got to fill in the rest of those spots, and that's where a lot of opportunity is.
So that's what I want, man, because I think these kids need to hear that, and because they looking at y'all and thinking it's easy and stuff like this, doing this stuff, man. But it's hard, man. I couldn't even imagine being a parent now from this game. Christy, I want to ask you real quick. I got a couple more questions. Christy, can you talk about, because we had Keytwan up here talking about how stressful the recruiting process for Taki, his son playing at Highland Springs, he's going to Virginia Tech. Okay, I'm with another parent. Can you say how stressful or how was the recruiting process for you as a parent? What do you say to some of the future parents out there?
Well, our motto, one of our mottos in our home is no worries. So I wouldn't say we had a stressful approach, more than we're going to enjoy the moments, a lot of prayer, and what felt good, what made most sense on paper. The best advice that I got from another parent that I'll give other parents is ask the hard questions.
Okay.
Because we will let the coaches and assistant coaches tell us sometimes what we want to hear. But you have to ask those hard questions that mean the most to you and your family. So if that's a list of 10 questions, literally I had questions written down that we discussed, our family discussed, that were important for Armando during that process. And coaches were very honest.
Okay.
And so I would say, enjoy the moments, because, it's a blessing to be in a situation where you're getting recruited and you have options. And ask those tough questions, look them in the eye. And if playing time is important, if starting is important, if, what is the system that they'll be playing in? Where do you see my child fitting into the program? Whatever those questions are, ask those. But I would not say it was stressful. It's been busy from that point till now.
Yeah, I can
But
imagine.
I think Armando was pretty focused and has been for a long time, even when he was younger, and knowing kind of what he wants.
Okay.
So that made it a lot less stressful for myself and his father, because he was pretty solid on the things that was important to him. And, talking to people as well on his own. Talk to the parents at your top 3 schools. Hop on a phone call and ask, did they do what they said they were going to do? Is your child comfortable? Is your child happy here? Those are the things you want to know. When you left your child, did your child say, yes, I'm good?
Yep.
So I think that eases up the stress, because the unknown is what kind of makes you stressful. So, you're my Taurus brother.
Yep, you know
So
it.
we don't mind
You
asking
know it. We don't mind asking the questions.
because we don't like surprises.
We don't like surprises, so don't be doing that. I like gifts, but I don't like surprises.
Instead of stressing, let me know.
That's right.
So I think that was important. It can be stressful, but hopefully those tips will help another parent to not be stressed.
That's what I'm talking about. I like that. I knew we can do that. Mondo, going back to, I missed something now, another accomplishment, business school. Tell me, because I'm lost my train of thought. You got some type of award for business school, right? North Carolina? Something like that. Can you tell? Because I know a lot of people going to be looking at this, so I just want to kind of, because you ain't just, because people see, and the reason why I'm putting the emphasis on that, because people see you on the news, they see you Sports Center, they see you, dunking, 28 and 13 and doubles and stuff. But tell me how important that education is, bro.
I mean, it's really important, and I really got that from making that transition to Trinity. That was just like one of the huge things, because I started off at John Rolfe, and you know how Rolfe is.
Yeah.
So I was just in middle school really wilding. I mean, I always was smart, but once I went to Trinity and like made those relationships with just the different people that went to the school, the alumni, and really like kind of saw how they all had like a sense of business, and then going to IMG too, and like meeting people on an even larger scale, that's really just sparked my whole mindset in terms of that, just because I got to learn a lot and like see some of the things, and it just was really interesting to me. And I thought it was really cool because it allowed me to be able to kind of know how things like work and behind the scenes, and I can kind of see and have an idea of like everything that's going on around me.
Yep. Man, I'm glad you said that too, because you mentioned IMG. A lot of people don't know that you went there. I don't know why. Give them that experience, man. Talk about, you won a national championship there. We got to talk about that too, man. I can't let you up out here because I was going to let you go, but.
I mean, you go from at Trinity.
State championship.
My high school was by far the funnest years of my life. Like
Oh
it was
my God, it's
insane. Like
crazy.
You're probably the most accomplished athlete that's probably came out of, at least on the male side. Well, I would say no. I would say even that because I was going to say Megan, but I would say that you got more than what she has because you won at
She has a
every
gold medal,
level.
too.
You got gold medals. You got all of those things, man.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to that transition to Florida while you still in high school.
I mean, it was a tough decision, really, like switching over to IMG. And I mean, obviously, like Coach McElwain, he got a history in Richmond because he coached
Benedictine, right?
Benedictine, coached Ed Davis, who went to UNC. So I kind of had a good feel for him. And a lot of people don't know, originally, I think you know this, I was going to Montverde.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought you was going.
Like,
See, that's
it
what
was-
did you know?
I flipped like literally in the last hour. Should
Really?
Yes.
In the last
I
hour.
saw
That's the
horses
craziest
and
part
was
about
like,
it.
this is where you're supposed to be. And he was like, no, I'm going to IMG. I
And it was like,
wait a
she won't
minute.
rock with it because she loved Coach Boy. And I mean, I still
Really?
love Coach Boy.
Oh,
to this day, too.
yeah. That's
mean,
why I
he one of
say
the
he's
greatest
always
coaches.
had his mind made up. Don't and people
like,
think like, no, I can't persuade
It
him.
was
No one can.
Montverde. But man,
That's all I was hearing.
I was Mount Bird. I
played with
was
if
Team
you
Mount
went to
Bird.
it was like Cade, Precious. I mean, it was a squad.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But like
Yeah, it
I
was a
went to
squad.
Team USA that summer.
Right.
I was with Jeremiah Robson Earl, and we had
That's
a
my dude. You know I love
great
Yes, you
relationship.
I love my mom. That's the lunch pail dude. Shout out to JRE, man. Oh my God, that's my
Great
dude.
relationship, and we knew we could form like a pretty good front court. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I visited that campus. I mean, you could only imagine. It costs $100,000 to go there a year. So
Right.
all the top of the line facilities still to
Oh,
this
it's gorgeous. It was like a resort.
day. It was a resort.
Yeah.
Really?
And that
They
was
had a
the
Smoothie King on campus.
yeah. I didn't go on the visit, so Mount Bird was the
You didn't come. Who came with me on
your
the
dad. I didn't go, and then I had not met Sean, so I want to say it's because I love Sean. So let me clear that in. I
Okay,
don't
yeah,
wanna, like, it was
we
a
don't want
coach
nobody to
thing.
be saying like
It was
Christian.
just that, right? Yeah, it was just I had more experience with Mount Bird,
Okay.
so that probably was what kind
And
of
she really was like iffy about it. She
Yeah, 'cause-
didn't. She was still. I could tell she still wasn't comfortable with me going to IMG. But like, man, I went there and I'm like, man, they got the best facilities. Like,
Yeah, you
and
can't.
the
he
best
loved
trainers.
The food.
Man, look.
He
Yeah,
was
we
like,
see the little joke.
Man, you big old resort style pool.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
They had all types of sports. Like
Mm-hmm.
walking around campus, I remember it'd be days I go in just casually, just going to lift weights, and it'd be John Morant right there,
Mm-hmm.
Maria Sharapova, Serena Williams. It was the craziest
Oh
thing
my
ever.
God.
Because I mean, IMG they get all types of people that are
And then I
athletes
think
come play
probably
there.
too coming from because Mount Verde was more of like
Was it rural?
it was very rural.
Oh, no.
It was
That-
very
I mean, it
rural.
was real strict. Like IMG
very
was real
strict.
lax.
Yeah, and so I can understand now
Why
why
he's-
he
why
made
he-
that.
And IMG was more like a college versus like
Exactly.
Montverde, like in terms
Exactly.
of structurally education.
It was more like boarding school.
Oh.
Got you ready for
Yeah,
sure.
Mount Verde was more like boarding school, and IMG was more like college.
I mean, it's and then like just like I could just remember just going there on a visit and then just coach he took me. It's a humongous campus, but just taking me around and seeing like all the different sports players and stuff. I mean, it's insane, and it just really pushes you. Because I mean, I remember my year. Obviously, we got 4 guys on that team in the NBA, and got a bunch more going. Mm-hmm. Then the football team, I think last year had like 4 top 20 picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, baseball my year had 3 guys going to top 10 picks.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, golf, tennis, all those sports, lacrosse, so
They just dope.
soccer. So just
Yeah.
being able to like build those lifelong relationships with those guys was huge too. Because I mean, still to this day, I still talk to a lot of my guys that then went on into the MLB and NFL, and just having that aspect, it really pushes you every day just to be great.
Man.
Which is something that if kids, parents take something from this as well as that it does not matter where you're from.
Okay.
It's all about what you want and what you're willing to do to get it.
And I'll say that too. Like I see a lot of kids from the city like try to duplicate some of the things that I've done in terms of like leaving and going places like that. But really, at the end of the day, like, and you know this, like if you got it, the coaches will come see you play anyway. At the end of the day,
Absolutely.
like
Anywhere.
you got so
Someone
much.
told
Like
me
you don't
that,
have to
yeah.
go to an IMG or think you got to go
Not for real.
to some other like top school to go play. Like if you handling business at your public school or some of these local private schools, I mean, it'll all work out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, would I be wrong to ask you what went into your decision
No, I mean, really,
to
I
leave?
I mean, it just, I didn't feel like it was at Trinity or just like in Richmond in general. I didn't feel like it was nothing left to prove, really, and I just didn't think I would get much better staying there because, I mean, in practice, who was I going up against?
I mean, just you and Henry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Bert.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna get better in practice. Competition wise, like we played a pretty solid schedule.
Yeah, and
National
no
schedule,
slight
but,
on
like,
them, but
I wanted to be able to every day go up against Jeremiah and
right.
be able to train 2-3 times a day and really just get my body ready and my mentality ready for UNC because I knew going into UNC I'd be starting as a freshman. So I'm like, yo, we gotta change something.
Right.
And then you had to get away from my cooking.
Yeah.
Look, you know I gotta.
I was cooking too much for him.
He was spoiling.
Yeah, he
you.
changed right away his body. Everybody was like, "Oh, it might have been you, Mom."
Yeah, because when I came back, I went to that DeMatha game, and Armando was doing reverse dunks. I the joint that made the ESPN joint. I was like, wait a minute, what is they doing down there?
Yeah,
you know, because Mo Wells was there, right?
Mo Wells, he was, but I didn't get to really work with Mo Wells because he was more doing like the pre-draft stuff. But I worked with UJ, and he the strength trainer now. And, this to tell you a little bit about IMG. UJ, who's our strength trainer, he is the strength trainer for University of Alabama football.
Okay.
And then the strength trainer under him for the B team, who was like Zach Edey was there playing.
Okay, yep, I remember.
Zach Edey, he was on the B team. That tells you how good IMG was because you got somebody. They got one of the favorites for National Player of the Year was on the B team.
On the B team, right. Like, wow.
I mean, Terrence Shannon, Lester, they were on the, the post-grad team.
The post-grad team, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, UJ, and then the trainer under that is the head strength trainer at Kentucky basketball. So that just show you, like, just the amount of just everybody there is winning.
Yeah, obviously. I'm like, man, you turn that down. But I got a bone to pick with you, though, because I'm on mama's side on this one. I got to help out my sis.
Let me hear it.
Yeah. Sis, this year you're going to go to a graduation, right?
Yes. I'm asking every week, like, what do we need to do? Do you want to take senior pictures? He's like,
my graduation.
Because somebody left the IMG graduation and was back at home the next day. Like, I mean, you was home after the national championship game, right? From IMG.
Oh man, I
pretty
was.
Much.
Remember, because you and Zari, we was together up at U-turn.
I was flying home like every weekend after the season.
Yeah.
You didn't get to go to the graduation.
No, the cap and gown never left the packaging. They mailed the diploma.
Stuff like that don't really like. I'm not really the biggest person on celebrating myself.
But your mama, it's for your mama. Come on, man.
Good,
Help me out.
It's for your mama. Mari? What about Mari? Shout out to Mari.
Yeah.
I ain't even get to King and what's her name, but we talk about Christy. Like, hey, she going to graduation this year, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, all right. So we got that on record.
Yeah.
So if you end up leaving, and the only exception you get is because of draft stuff. So we're not going to even touch that.
But I'm going to still be able to graduate, though.
Okay. Okay.
You hear it.
So I got a question for you. I'm going like a little way out of bounds.
Sure.
But you know, my mom, she went to Armstrong and stuff, so she always like to talk about like all the old school players from her era.
Okay.
And all that. So I want you to tell me about like just some of the players and like I guess who now reminds you of them, like of the newer Richmond players. So she always talk about Raymond Postel.
Look.
Yes.
She's talking about he could play with anybody and stuff like that.
He could. In his prime, Raymond was the man. Raymond
and
was.
Kennard gonna like this one. Shout out to Kennard White. He gonna love this one.
She would always tell me like how he was built, like
I'm
funny.
telling you,
But,
it was almost like, you know what? No, and I know
you got
this
this.
is a huge stretch.
Go ahead,
That's
because Kennard gonna watch this
disclaimer.
one.
However, the way he looked and played back then, huge stretch. I'm
Right.
just saying, look and play back then. Zion Williamson.
Right.
You would not expect him.
Would you say
to
that?
be,
Somebody so big, Raymond.
Oh,
Yes, because
he was light on his
Raymond was
feet.
different. He was very light. Because he was all Metro. He made all Metro that year.
He was nice. I mean, you can guarantee him to drop 30 plus a night.
Well, how about this? I need you to give me your top 5 players in Richmond.
Oh, is that
You ain't
somebody-
don't put me in the list. 'Cause I know I'm top 5, but I need to hear your top 5
Really,
without
really,
me.
really? That's what we gonna do? Okay.
I need to hear your top 5.
All right,
without me.
fine. You know,
And then I'm gonna give you my 5.
Okay. Matter of fact, no, you go first. I want to hear your 5, so I can, because I'm gonna have to
Oh,
get that down.
in Richmond, I've never heard this.
Yeah, I want to hear
Good.
this one for him.
Yeah, who's
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, because he can only
From
cover
what I
his
can I say
area.
from what I've seen.
Yeah, from what you've seen.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can go
you
from
can't.
what
Yeah,
you've seen.
you gotta go back from what you see. I can go
Yeah.
further.
Number 1, I'm gonna have to say Frank.
Yeah.
That's everybody's not because just what he did at the Siegel Center was insane. Like I remember.
Tim, how many times have people been on here and said Frank?
At least 5.
I was like,
Gotta give it to Frank.
I was like 8, 9 years old. I can't even remember, but I just remember seeing him. I remember he had the baby and was just like killing it. Like that man got a kid. He was out there killing. He was nice.
He sold out every gym.
This might be an unpopular opinion, but for me, this is like the person
No, it's your personal pick.
that inspired me. Like I looked at them, I'm like, this is LeBron. Like,
Okay.
take
Bucket.
a guess.
Buck.
Yes.
Yeah, I already know you're gonna say Buck.
What's crazy
'Cause that's
about
good.
Buck, he would have me take him to games.
To Fairfield.
Yeah, that Buck played in.
Fairfield. Then when he was at
Henrico?
Henrico, it was
he had
insane.
to go.
Like,
We gotta go. We gotta go.
Buck, I love Buck. And then
But hold on, stop right there. You know I'm going to say this, right? Why your boys from Team Takeover try to clown him, man?
they did. I'll give you
The
that.
Takeover, what they say, he was like, if he was your best player in Richmond, that Richmond dudes are trash.
I remember that.
I was like, wait a minute, man. Like, hold
Come on,
on.
no slouch.
Well, we know that, but you know how them Takeover dudes, man.
Definitely.
Shout out to Takeover, but I forgot who said it, but
I
it was
remember
funny.
that. I do remember that.
Yeah, I think it was VJ King or somebody
It was one
said
of
it.
them.
Yeah,
I do remember
if I'm wrong, VJ, chop me out. But
It was somebody. But yeah,
somebody said
Buck
that.
always was like, he just had it all, and like, man, I remember he just like some of the dunks he would do in the game. Like, he like got to be like one of the most influential hoopers in Richmond history.
I
Like,
agree.
just what he did,
No
like
doubt.
Buckingham. He like. Even when I went to Trinity, I'd be like, "This is my Devontae Buckingham moment." Like just packing out the arena.
Hold it right there. Do you think we would have beat that team, that
Yes.
team that because we were supposed to play them if we had won?
I do think we would have beat Buckingham, number 9 in the country because they. Still,
Okay. So you
they
think
didn't
our
do-
senior?
Nobody in Richmond done what we did on that national.
So the
level.
sophomore team, you feel like we could beat the Buck team, not the Malik them junior year. It was
The state
the
championship.
state. You feel like the championship team would have beat
The junior
that.
year team, it would have been a hell of a game.
Cause we had Travion and all them then.
Oh no! We wouldn't have beat them, no. They would have. I had a remember the team. Nah, they would've burned it.
You know Alex Petrie, shout out to him, right?
Oh, my
I saw him.
God.
Petrie said,
Petrie-
man, when we used to play y'all, he said, we used to be like, just let Travion shoot because we going to
Travion
shoot
was
them
wild.
out the game.
Yeah.
He said, we
Travion
won't worry
was wild.
about nothing.
Travion's wild. But I feel like if you take that team and we played them out, it'll be a hell of a game. But I think we went. But back to my list.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I had Buck at number 2. At number 3, like I'm gonna have to say like
No, say it.
Jarvis Street, maybe.
There you go. See, we talk. Who was talking about that? Either Keller or CJ. Somebody was talking about that. He get left off a lot.
Jarvis Street was the good.
People don't realize he was a parade All-American too.
That's what I'm saying. He was the real
He
deal.
could do so much.
No, he could go.
Like
He could go.
he don't get that credit.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I love that one.
Jarvis Street. Okay, 4.
3.
I'm gonna have to say. This way it get tricky because I feel like 4 and 5 you could put so.
No, that's okay because you give me time to think a little bit more too.
Who 4. Who?
Eli, help him out.
Eli, you gotta help me.
Help him out.
Tim Jones was pretty good.
I was thinking that, but I was thinking that, but I can't. Say
Well, because you gotta look. Please do that for Tim because Tim mad at me right now. I think he might be out.
yeah,
'cause he-
Tim close. Tim would be in my honorable mentions.
Right. Yeah, he was
Tim is close,
solid. But
He was
this
solid,
is
but
your
he
era.
So who was your
I'm talking about
4
from what I saw. Yeah.
At
Who?
4, I'm gonna have to say like John Marshall had to have somebody.
Well, you got
Isaiah
That you
Todd.
saw?
you got
I put Todd at
you
4.
got Todd. You got Travis McKay.
Oh,
You got D-Mar.
you know what? I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I mean,
Todd. I'm gonna
since he
go
was
Todd
on
and
that
Travis
list.
McKay at 4 or 5
You got
for sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Todd and Travis McKay for sure.
Okay.
Then honorable mention, I'm gonna have to throw in Kurt his sophomore year when he came to Varina.
Oh, Kurt who?
Jones.
Cole Jones? Oh, I didn't know he was over there.
No, he's at Holland Springs.
Holland Springs.
Because he was playing at something. He was at, what was he at before that? PVI?
PVA went to PVI. I think he left Holland Springs and went to PVI.
He was like one of the first guys from Richmond to go like.
And he said that he came on here and said he shouldn't have went there.
And then he came back and he was like scoring 40 like as a sophomore.
Kurt, that dude. Shout out to Kurt, man.
Yeah.
That's my 5.
Shout out to all those guys.
That's my 5. I know I missed somebody badly.
That's a solid 5.
I missed somebody bad. Oh, who? I don't know actually.
Tutu was pretty good.
Tutu was nice.
Tutu a dog.
Oh, yeah.
Look, it's crazy because he called me, him and CJ called me the other night and was asking like similar questions about. He was saying something about
Petrie and Sherrod got to be somewhere.
Oh yeah, Alex Petrie too.
Man,
I ain't say Robert Johnson either.
Shout out to Rob. Shout out to Petrie.
Ooh,
Who else?
the boy that went to Cosby.
Troy Capane.
Capane.
Oh man, he was a dog.
He was a
Troy
pro.
Capane.
He was a dog. People forget about that work, man. He
I
got
ain't
to the
count
match.
Ed because I ain't see Ed, but obviously he'd be at the top.
Ed was up there. Yeah, I watched Ed because he from Hanover. I watched him more at Benedictine.
Hey, Millie was all right too.
You know what? Look, shout out to Tate. Hey man, he was on here. We was talking about him. Who was it? Somebody was talking about him. I was like, when they played Trinity, him and Valentine used to wipe the floor with Trinity.
Malik White was good.
Another dog. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. You know, Malik White don't get enough credit neither.
Yeah, he don't at all.
Yeah, your boy tried to clown him though.
He was a
your
dog.
boy Xavier Johnson tried to clown him.
No, he was a dog.
Like
He never got enough credit.
no, he never did.
I got to hit your 5 now.
All right. Yeah, I go back, man. You know, number one, the greatest I would say that came out of Richmond got to be Kendrick Warren by far. I mean, that's not even a question. You know, that man, the stuff that he did, he was doing stuff, man, that was just like filling up. You talking about filling up gyms? Come on, man. Kimmy, number one off back ain't even close.
Over Hargett?
See, this is where it gets tricky. I did not particularly watch Hoggett during that time from that 97-03 time, so I really couldn't give you much. But as far as what I know, yes, that would be Kimmy. Then if you want to put Hoggett up there, but I can't do that. But just knowing that what he did for sure, yes, Hoggett is on that list for me, but I can't put him there because I didn't watch him.
Gotcha.
So I can't do that. But from what everybody else says, yes. And he's supposed to come on the show too. We're going to talk about that. Just working that out. Another player for me, which is going to throw a wrench in there, one of my personal favorites, Tyree Evans. Because for me, when I stopped playing, you know, I went into family mode. So when Malik was born, it was just like I wasn't going to no games. I was just doing a lot of crazy stuff. So I was like, man, I'm done. When I came back out and I saw Tyree Evans, whoo,
I hear a lot about Tyree Evans.
my God. It was like for me, like people were like, man, yes, Tyree was like that.
So he your number 3?
He would be number 3, but number 2 officially because, you know, Hoggett would be unofficial.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't watch that. I did this before too, and I didn't forget because CJ Wiggins asked me the same question.
Yeah.
So y'all excuse me.
Shout out to CJ too. I remember him as a freshman starting at Holland Springs. I remember that. That was pretty crazy.
Man, CJ, yeah, and
his freshman ain't started at Holland Springs. I remember that.
No, he didn't because I remember Kurt said the same thing about that to Land. He was, and I think Land didn't like that, thought that. I have to now. You're making my brain work, man. Really, because it's not a cut dry question. I'm just gonna do it because right now I don't want to waste too much time. Tyrese Rice, what he did, for the way that he took Bird from nothing and made him a household name. You know, we can go back there, but what he did, man, crazy. I'm just gonna give you a list because I really don't have a list. I gotta go back. I'm missing somebody.
You can put some new guys in there too.
No, I don't want to put the new guys. I'm the 90s era guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a 90s guy. Much as I love y'all era, it won't like our era. It just won't.
That's
Right.
fair.
You know,
Definitely.
Kennard White would be one of them, but I can't put Kennard in it because I didn't watch Kennard. I heard Kennard was one of the top players ran, so I can't do that. So he really got me on
Who played
right
at
there.
Armstrong? Who played at John Marshall during those times?
Now for me,
George.
yeah, because see, for me now, if you want to go there, Tonio Saunders, 93, class of 92 at Kennedy. People don't remember Tony. But Tony was different. Tony was the first guy for me around here that was 6'3", was playing point. He could play all 5 positions, but Tony was just
6'3"
different.
Around here, you were
Right, yeah,
7'4".
right. And Tony, what he could do with the basketball and stuff like that, we just couldn't beat Highland Springs. That was the problem. Back then, the regionals was 8 teams. So only top 2 teams. It was always Henrico and Highland Springs. And Kennedy and Armstrong had great teams, but some really good teams. We just couldn't beat them.
Yeah.
So my list is changing because right now I'm drawing a blank. Why am I missing about it? Milton Bell. That would be number.
Sound familiar to me.
Milton Bell came out of John Marshall, one of the best players that came. Him and Kimmy will probably be 1 and 2 on everybody's list. But Milton Bell, what he did, man, it's just I can't even imagine. He went to Georgetown. He was, for me, that was 88.
Nice.
And when I came out, when I was at Henderson and watching Milton doing what he did, he was one of the big names. He went to Georgetown. Going to Georgetown was a big fucking deal around that time.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
what about like a Shandall?
Shandor wouldn't be on the top list,
Okay.
but he, you know,
I've never seen them play.
Shandor was the
Richmond conversation ballers.
Shandor. If he would have played in that '93 game against Iverson, they would have won.
Oh man, I watched Iverson play.
They would have won
out the Ash. Oh my
yeah.
God, I never in my
Okay,
life
I got
forget
one more.
that game
I got one more quick question.
ever.
Top 3 like dynasties, high school basketball dynasties. So that's like a 3 to
Richmond,
however long, run.
Richmond or the state?
Richmond.
Well, because Richmond, they ain't. It's okay. We got us.
Henrico, they had that dynasty with Coach Harmon.
Yeah.
Them years.
So
they
we're
was-
including championships.
Yeah, championship just all. It ain't gotta be specific, you know what I mean?
Then you would do Benedictine, wouldn't you? Benedictine was on the national level. And
But we
killing
talking about
it.
top 3 though. But I mean,
Schools or teams?
like school/teams, like that run, like
John Marshall, George Wilf will be top 2 from what they've done. Now, if you including
I'm
championship
saying like if you include like Buck freshman or like senior year, like in that.
from Buck,
I'm saying like just dynasties like during their time.
so you talking about from in the last 10 years, basically.
Nah, just like how from wherever. I'm saying like you thinking like when LeBron was with the Heat, that was their dynasty. Like
Okay, so
So
you
I'm
talking
saying,
about?
give me, like,
so we
that.
have to have championships attached. When you say dynasties, we have to have championships attached to
championships,
it.
wins.
Well, because the reason why this question is so tricky because for Richmond area we haven't won.
Right.
We didn't start winning until 03 when Highland Springs won, and then 07 when Brandon Roselle then won. So I can't really give you
But
dynasties.
like I guess for then
The 3 that come off the top of my head has to be that
schools.
Bird run from when they started off, like probably from like 2013 to like until Pinky and them left.
Yeah.
That's a
They
top
were-
3.
Bird, it would be
That
Bird,
was the one.
Benedictine, Henrico, because they had a good run.
Yeah,
Because they won 2.
definitely.
Benedictine won a couple. I can't say Trinity was a dynasty because we didn't win but 1.
Yeah.
Which I felt like we should have won more.
I agree.
You could say Highland Springs women's basketball, even though they never beat
Definitely.
Princess.
Highland
Right.
Springs
That's the only thing they could
Yeah.
never get over their hump. Overall, John Marshall. I mean, even though, like I said, the classifications have changed, but historically, John Marshall and Whiff has always been in Highland Springs, basketball wise. Then you include Benedictine, Bird, Henrico,
Basketball schools.
basketball schools and stuff like that. I don't know why I feel like I'm missing a team, but those are the teams right there I can think offhand. So shoot me if I didn't forgot what it is, y'all. But those are because we just can't have dynasties because we haven't won enough.
Right.
We can't do that. But if you're taking them off just tradition of schools, has to be John Marshall, George Whiff, Highland Springs, Henrico, Bird, Benedictine, if you want to include them, private. TJ used to.
Yeah, TJ. Yeah.
Yeah, TJ used to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lately, you got to throw Varina in there because Varina has changed the game
For sure.
in the last 10 years, what they've done. Their run, they won 2 championships, so you have to give them credit.
No doubt.
Yeah, that would be that. But that's another day for another topic because there's so many variables that come into that.
Yeah.
And
And then we definitely done left a lot of teams and players out because it's just been so many.
yeah, when you think it's like you have to really expect your man, because I can just roll this stuff off, and I can't roll it off like I used to no more. I don't know if it's old age or what.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, Father Time or defeated, right? But when you get my mind working like that, I'm just like, now you got me thinking. Because CJ them asked me the same question. I was like, man, that's kind of hard. And I don't worry about what people seeing me in the street saying, man, you said this. I don't worry about that at all. You know, because they know I know, but I've lost a little bit, y'all. So y'all have to excuse me because I do a lot more now and stuff like that. So I got an excuse. But no, that was a good question though. But top player by far, 1, 2 in the order, it would be Milton and Kendrick Warren.
Gotcha.
By far, they just accomplished and done so much for Richmond and jump started. Then you can add everybody else behind them. And if anybody like my list, I frankly don't give a darn. but those and I don't think nobody would disagree with that. You know. But yeah, man, this was good, man. I gotta plug my man Eli, man. Listen, I want to congratulate you, man, because you on this second. We can't forget about you. You coming off a state championship with Varina last year, man. Give us a little bit and tell us about that run, man, and how was that?
Nah, man, it was definitely a great experience. You know, just being a sponge to that great staff. You know, they know what they're doing over there. You know what I mean? And I learned,
coaching staff.
I learned a lot from them dudes. You know what I'm saying? And just being able to give back. You know, just give those kids what I wanted. You know, as a trainer. You know what I'm saying? And just building a brother bond with all those kids. You know what I mean? Like, it was a great experience. And then to win states, I never won a states as a player. So as a coach, my first year, it was a great experience. You know, I ran that floor like I was one of them.
Yeah, man. I see you on the ground. They be posting. You be running the practices and stuff like this.
Yeah.
As I told you, man, I saw you at Mondo's camp, and I called you up personally, and I told you, man, I'm proud of you. Because the way you commanded those kids, and I know Christy I know she probably told you that privately, you know what I'm saying, but I thought he did an excellent job that day, man. You ran that thing for those 2 days, man. Yeah. And I just say that and I tell everybody, man, you know, Eli, he's one of the top, you know, and I can say top because you haven't got there yet. Let me correct that. You are up and coming.
For sure.
And I want to make sure that you get your due. So if any type of training, I know you do basketball training. What else did you do as far as that?
So I'm basically just skills development with basketball. Honestly.
Okay.
So yeah, if anybody wants training, I'm available. You can contact me on Instagram or personally on my number. But you can get my number off Instagram. It's Elijah _ So yeah, man. But it's a great experience. I love training. I've been doing it since 2020, and ever since I've been doing it, I fell in love with it. I wouldn't want to know it other way, you know. And this honestly wasn't even my plan, you know. I always played basketball my whole life. My goal was to play college ball, but because of injuries, you know, I just chose another route, you know. And it's been working well so far.
Yeah, you're in a good position, man. And I want to shout out Doe, man, because you didn't have to put your homeboy on. You could have got,
real.
you know, I know David and Avery and all of them, they do their thing, and they do great jobs in their respective jobs because they do that all the time, man. But putting your homeboy on like that says a lot about your character, man.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have to do that.
Nah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? And we need to see more of that, man, especially our black young men, man, sticking together, putting each other on, man, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So,
no doubt.
But yeah, man. But I wanted to get out here, man. But I thought I done lost my train of thought because you do so much stuff. I don't used to people asking me questions. I'm the one that's in the driver's seat all the time. So I was like, if I don't write it down, so I have to write stuff down.
I was gonna say, did you complete your list?
I completed the list. I only had 3 questions. Normally I'll do that.
Content, though, for sure.
Yeah, man. You know. But I know what I wanted to ask you, man. Lastly, because I know how Christy feels. I'm gonna ask you because you know we used to have talk all the time. How do you? I just ask a question. Just make it simple, Larry. You know, what is your relationship and how do you feel about Coach Davis, man? Tell people about your relationship with him because we see you hug him and just like embrace him, man. What has he done for you, man? I mean, not saying personally, you're to tell it, man, but just, especially as a brother, man, being, to another young brother, how did that make you feel, man? What is your relationship like with Coach?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. He been knowing me since, the 9th grade?
I want to say eighth.
Eighth
Either
grade,
or
yeah.
ninth,
You
yeah.
remember he used to come to the games all the
My mom
time.
had bumped into him at Chipotle and was like, you need to check my son out. And, I mean, he came and watched me, and then that's where the interest started. And then he was the lead recruiter. He been up to Richmond a million
All
times.
the time.
He know all about. He joked with me about Trinity all the time, and he know the area so well. So, I mean, he just been there, and then just to see him go from being an assistant coach to the head coach, it was just amazing. And I mean, once Coach Williams announced he was leaving, that's what we all wanted, and that's what we got. And it's just been special just having a coach like him who's nice, but also so serious at the same time and young, and just all for us. We love him.
Man, that's dope, man. I wanted to hear that because he used to always, that's the only person I used to see all the time. And then Coach Williams used to come up here, man. But I forgot, and I knew that was one of my other questions. Right now, I know when people going to see this, but right now, today of December 23rd, 2022, what's shown on my podcast right now? Your brother.
Yeah.
Right now, we got King. Episode is out right now, man. Bacot family, man. Your dad, Joya, your sister, everybody, man. Your brother hot right now, man.
Problem.
Look, what'd you say, Eli?
Yeah, problem.
A problem, man. Talk about your little bro, man, because he was up here, man. We was dropping some jewels, man, before we get you out here.
I mean, it's just crazy to see, I mean.
Did you see this coming?
Yeah, it was destined for him. He just always been around basketball. Like when he was really starting to grow up and able to shoot a basketball, I was playing with like Team Loaded, and he was always on the sidelines with us in the huddles, and that's all he knew since a kid. And I just knew he was gonna be good. I mean, I didn't know he'd be this good.
He the number one
already.
player in the country, man. I mean, how
Yes,
did that make y'all feel?
It
I
was
mean, come on
destined for him.
now.
I mean, you know how my dad is. He
Oh, my
basketball.
Your dad is funny, man.
Like, my dad, it ain't no way.
funny.
It ain't no way he won't gonna let his other son be great. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
it was destined for
Nah,
him.
for real.
Look, and I asked him because I told AZ, I said, because I said, who hard on you? I said, is it Mari? I said, is it Mondo or is it AZ? He said, AZ be on me, man. He said, how's your name, man? She be on me. I said, Mondo, he said, yeah, but it's because I'm here with her all the time.
Yeah.
But to see he's so mature, his IQ, he's so smart, man.
Like I said,
Like-
being in those huddles, just being around the games. I mean,
Yeah.
he not out here training every day and doing a bunch of
No,
stuff
he
like that.
naturally
Just
has
natural.
it.
He's just
Natural,
naturally
man.
gifted, and
Yeah.
that's like,
And that
I think-
scares me
yeah.
because I don't know if he's going to be able to maintain it because it's just like, it's so something natural to him.
yeah,
I
exactly.
think that is what is so special about him is that it is natural.
Right.
It's not,
and it's not him working out doing a
Right.
bunch of drill. You've
Right.
seen a lot of guys. You
Right.
know a lot of guys.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Started early,
Drill
doing
working.
drill work and
Yeah.
all that.
So imagine when he does start
imagine when he
working
starts
out.
sharp.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
It's over.
and that's the main thing I've been telling my dad too. Just like letting them play and not being so serious about basketball now. Because I just have seen it so many times, like kids being really good early and then they're not working out. But I mean, for him, he still got a lot of growing to do. He gonna be tall. He got all the skill. He got everything. And I mean, as long as he just keep handling business and focusing, he gonna be great. And I mean,
And having a
it's
good
destined
time.
for him. Like
No
it's
doubt.
destined for him. He
Yeah.
didn't. That's all he know.
That's dope, man. That boy, I've been going to see him play, man. So, I'd be a little.
Yeah, my dad said he be killing at those middle school games. He be killing.
Yeah, he kind of is like, he's so unselfish, and I think I don't want to say that's a bad thing. And like I told Eli, I was like, I felt like he needs to insert himself more.
Yeah,
and he's so
that's
young.
The thing, though. He love passing.
He loved passing, and but the thing about it, when you trying to win, and those teams, them kids coming at him.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, you got to insert yourself more in the game, and you have to find a way to incorporate, to do both, and it's kind of hard. Establish yourself, get everybody involved, establish yourself so you can stay in the game. Because I think he gets so burnt out at the end, and a couple of those teams that they lost to, they should have beat.
Yeah.
But it's just so
that's
much
that
ask for.
learning curve, and
yeah.
people giving him that advice. And
He's so young.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, and it's
He'll
hard.
be able to incorporate it later.
Later,
Because he'll be like, now I know what they're saying. Right now, like you said, he like the past, probably
Yup.
feel like it looks sweet. That's something he's
Yeah,
good
he
at.
loves that. I think
Along
that's his
with
thing.
everything else,
I'm
His
like,
favorite player is LaMelo Ball, so.
huh?
I said his favorite player is LaMelo Ball.
And he reminds me of, because
You know what
he
I'm
just
saying?
like he don't
Yeah.
have to score to dominate a game.
Yeah.
So that's why I say I love it, man.
No,
So
but it's all just a blessing. It's just fun. It's interesting. It's serious, But even with us being a blended family, it's been able to work, and
man,
through
y'all make it look so
communication,
easy.
and through having conversation, and being on the same page with, again, who does what best in those roles as parents or other friends, whatever it may be, and just sticking with the people that we've always been with. I think that's important too. Like, Elijah's been around since he was a kid. So their relationship has grown and continued to flourish.
And I tell him,
and that's important to keep everyone, grounded and rooted in what's really important.
Yep. And as parents, we always be kind of leery of who we have around our kids and
For
stuff
sure.
like that. And as parents, you always say, well, this kid look like this kid like that. So that's good. And that's why I said for him, I like him. He's just so grounded. And every time you see him, his demeanor is always the same, But
Appreciate that, man.
no, for real, man. And I ain't just saying it because it was Mike. I always
sure.
give you a call and
no doubt.
say that stuff to you.
No doubt.
But the blended family thing, I know Big Mondo was up here. He always say, he said, no, Christy, she got this, and Mondo pretty much in charge of this and stuff like that. So he gave you credit for that when he was sitting up here in his chair. He was just like, no.
Yeah, the basketball is his
yeah.
thing, and I don't touch that part. That's his thing. They have conversations. He's always told him what he felt that he should do, and et cetera. And school, and some of the business stuff has always been. It's my kind of thing. So make it work.
We make it work. Well, y'all, this has been fun.
Yeah.
And I want to
Yes,
get
sir.
y'all up out here,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
He
you,
has
man.
us, and
Appreciate
we
you.
got note of today, December
23rd.
23rd. It's 5:06, and it's 19 degrees. We are in an Arctic blast.
Yes, it is. Oh my God, it's crazy. So when this come out in January, y'all know it was cold today.
It
y'all.
was cold
It was cold
today.
here in Virginia.
Yeah.
Where you off to next, man? When is your next game?
Is it the 4th?
Nah, we played the 30th. We played Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. See, y'all got things rolling back around now. So yeah, I will be seeing you soon. So I want to wish you well the next, the rest of the way, man. I don't want to go on and say, man, I want a championship, man. But good luck the rest of the way. Bring that thing home, bro.
Got you. Thank you.
This is huge. I am proud of you, man. You have, exceeded all my expectations. Because you're right, I was hard on your butt. I used to always say some stuff, man, but you have truly surpassed everything I thought you would be, and then some. And, Christy, Big Doe, your whole village, man, your sisters, your brothers, everybody, man, your friends, they've done a good job at, being around you, man. So I want to say I'm proud of you, bro.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for coming on here showing me some love, man, because, I'm little people, man. So I'm all the way down the Tovo.
Big people in our family. We family.
Big time.
Yes, we always been family, man. And I just thank you. Like I told you, man, I still cry every time I look at the videos when we won that state championship, because I ain't ever think I was going to ever be a part of anything like that. So for me, that's what I hold on to, because that is so dear to me. I'm like, oh my God, that was just such a magical run, and I would never forget that. So like I told Wade, I took our Will Michael, Matt, and I want to personally say thank you.
No problem.
Thank you for helping that, man, and helping my son and everything like that. Because I know you always be like, man, what's up with Malik, man? Why are you so crazy? I'm like, man, that dude different. Malik different. I can't tell you what that dude do. He just different. But for BallinVA, man, we are out. Please make sure y'all like and subscribe.
Show
love,
How
man.
we keep the lights on in here.
Yes.
Anybody y'all want to shout out before y'all go?
Well, I want to shout out Richmond. Piggybacking on that Final Four run, I got so many texts, so many hit ups on Facebook. Y'all been buying the T-shirts.
Yes.
My city showed my baby so much love, and I'm so grateful. People were like FaceTiming. Like, y'all had watch parties.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was over the current
we
Michael
need that
house.
same energy this season. I mean, everything Mondo does, we represent our hometown. It is what it is. But I'm really grateful to the city of Richmond and the people who have shown their support and love. The whole 4 years, really. But, as we're getting this momentum, it's really cool to get that support.
Yeah, we claiming that UNC championship. I'm claiming it.
Yeah.
Hell,
Yes, sir.
I'm
Yes,
going
sir.
on record.
Amen.
We need another one of those. Every 4 years we get one. So it's about time. So for
Agree.
BallinVA, I got Eli, Little Doe. I can't call you Big Doe, but Little Doe. Christy, my sister, thank you.
Yay.
As always, love. When we always talk. And from everybody, man, who watching, and from my man Tim, everybody, we are out. I appreciate y'all watching the episode again today, y'all. Go over, make sure that y'all check out my man, rickstockel.com for any of your home buying needs. Appreciate it. Thanks again.